Hi, I'm Brian Horner, and we're going to do another video in our touchscreen video series. This one's going to be called Setup. So originally, if you want to zero in more on the control panel, so starting from the beginning, we obviously turn our power on in the cab and at the rear, and when the computer boots up, this is our home screen. So once we get to our home screen, we want to go into the Setup menu. So if we hit the small icon that looks like a gear, and then we go to Setup, this is where it's going to ask for our passcode. So our passcode, or our password, for anything in Setup is actually the the Oregon, Illinois zip code, which is 61061. And then you would hit login. Now you can find that, like I said, Oregon, Illinois zip code. Some of our tags that are on different places of the unit will actually say ED Etnyre, Oregon, Illinois, and do give that zip code. It's on the manuals. It's in lots of spots if you actually forget that and need to get in here. So once we're in the setup screen, we always come to the factory, okay? This is all of the factory settings of how we would set the unit up for pump threshold, minimum flow gallons, spray delay, on and on. One of the things that we can use with our setup screen is we can tailor it for different things, such as tack or seal coat, chip seal with different rocks or different applications. We can do different things. And the reason I want to show you this is the one main important thing is the pulses per revolution. What that really tells us is what pump and motor for the hydraulics are on this truck. If this number is incorrect, we will be getting the wrong revolutions, which means we're getting the wrong gallons per minute. So we can check that. Normally it's going to be a 48 if you have a Rexroth system. It will be a 46 if you have a Danfoss system. You can check that either in your manual or on the side of the control box in the cab is a sticker, and we'll take a picture of that here in a minute, that will tell you what that should be set at. So we always want to set, this should always come out correctly. But if we want to go to another setting, if we go to memory 1, we can now name that. So let's say we want to shoot tack. So I can press and hold that. It'll bring up this keyboard. I can hit clear, and I can just type in the word tack and hit enter. And now I'm here in tack, and I can change any of these parameters. Well, why would I want to do that? One of the big things is the circulation factor. A lot of times when we're shooting tack, we're shooting a very light amount, so our pump sitting still is barely turning. So we want to set this number up, normally at 50%. A lot of times I will set that up to like 70% for tack. What that does is keep our pump spinning a little faster as we're sitting still, and it helps when you take off that it's not light at the beginning. But you notice when I touch that, up here it popped save, memory, and reset. Well, I want to save that because I changed it, so I actually hold the save button, and now tack stayed there. So I could toggle through to memory 2 and do that for chip seal. I could go to memory 3 or 4, or when I come back to factory, you can see it drop back to the 50% like I should be. Or if I toggle again, I went to tack and I'm 70. So you can leave it like this, or you can run off a factory. But if you're in factory, you can't change anything. It is set. There's no way to change any of the parameters. You actually have to go in and name one before you can change any of this. So my big thing is with tack, we'll probably set the circulation factor up to 70%, and we'll leave that as tack, and now that's saved in there. So every time that you reboot the computer, you could switch over and go to your tack mode, and that would change your circulation factor. While we're in the setup screens, if we go to page 2, this will tell us how our truck is equipped. With the total bar length on this truck is 12 foot. We have a nozzle range indicator, and this is the nozzles that we have in it. If we have different nozzles in the truck and we want our nozzle range indicator to work correctly, we can toggle through and find the correct nozzle. And once you do that, it will stay there. Okay, we'll go back. Nozzles all spraying, this runs with our app of if we're going to use all 3 nozzles per foot, or if we're going to use 1 nozzle per foot, or if we're going to use every other nozzle. If you don't change the nozzle and change the number of nozzles you're using, your nozzle range indicator will work incorrectly. It will not give you the green and red and yellow band according to the speed. So it takes all this into consideration. Okay, so that's the basic in the setup, and I just wanted to show everybody, you know, this truck is equipped with spray bar wings, 2 foot and 2 foot, because it's a 12-foot bar. While we're in here, we can talk about the tank valve. So the tank valve is open or closed, or auto or closed, I should say. Auto is where we leave it all the time, so no matter what function you go into, whether it's circulating bar, circulating tank, hand spray, whatever, it will automatically open and close the tank valve to let oil into your pump or keep oil out of your pump accordingly. The closed position is now no matter what function I do, circulating tank, bar, whatever, my tank valve will not open. The reason we put that in here is if we have oil in our tank and we need to work on something or test something and we don't want to flood our pump, we can go into the setup screen, close our tank valve, and then when we go back out and go to a function to see if it's working, we're not going to get oil into our asphalt pump. So that's the only time you would really use the auto and closed, is when you need to work on it, when you have oil in the tank. Other than that, leave it in the auto position. The other thing that's in the setup is the power return, okay? The power return is a butterfly valve that's air actuated, so when we go to spray or circulate or anything, the oil is returning back into the tank, okay? So normally when you go to spray, that does not close. But if I go to on, now when I hit my master spray switch, the power return valve will close for 3 seconds and then it will open back up. Sometimes that just helps if your 4-way valve's getting loose and it's bypassing a little bit, we can change it to this, and that way it will open and close in a 3-second interval. But most of the time we leave that on off. And then most trucks are not equipped with spray bar marker valves, but if you have one single cylinder at the end of the bar that's controlling one nozzle, that's what we consider a spray bar marker. Well, you have to tell the truck that that has that on so that single switch works correctly. And then there's one more page, page 3. This just gets into whether we want our fault codes to be able to show if something goes wrong. We enable those, so anytime we have a fault, it pops up. If you don't want to see any faults that pop up, you can disable it. And this just shows our deadband for our joysticks to move our bar left and right, and our taper switch deadband. The update stuff we'll cover in a different video. So just going back, page 1, if you want to change any of my settings, I need to relabel it from a different memory. Okay, and then once I do that, we could put one in here that says chip seal just while we're doing this. If I hit memory and hold it, I can hit clear and I can put chip if we want, and then we can hit enter. Now the factory settings are still there, but now it'll allow me to change any of these. And a lot of times with chip seal, 50% normally is good, but if you want to change your circulation factor, or sometimes we change the minimum flow. If we're doing 1 foot at a time, maybe we want to bump this up to 10. Well, right there it said save it. So now I'm going to hit save. And now every time I come back to chip, my minimum flow is going to be 10 versus the 5 that was on the factory setting. So anyhow, that's just a quick overview of the setup. Then when we're all done, we can just log back out, and you can either arrow back or you can hit the home page and we're right back to the beginning. So that's just an overview of what the setup page does.